So you might have wondered, what does a Cambridge Math probability question look like? So I wanted to go through one of them. So we are given this function c over 1 plus x squared for x in this 0 to root 3. And we're told to find c and calculate the mean variance and median of x. Okay. So first step is to calculate c. So this is pretty simple. We know that the integral has to end up being 1 between 0 and root 3. So if we take this, I'm just going to write it as 1 over 1 plus x squared dx is equal to 1. And this is actually a known integral. This is just tan inverse of x. Okay? So we simply just have that c multiplied by tan inverse of x between root 3 and 0 equals 1. Okay? So what does that mean, right? Well, this it just ends up being that pi over 3 is 1. So c just ends up being 3 over pi. So the next thing is to calculate the expected value. Okay? So the expected value is going to be given by, well, it's going to be given by 3 over pi multiplied by the integral between root 3 and 0 of, well, in this case, it's going to be x times f of x. So it's going to be x over 1 plus x squared dx. Okay? Again, so in this case, we can say that u equals 1 plus x squared, which means that du is equal to 2x dx. And by substitution, this is going to mean that we have half of the natural log of 1 plus x squared, okay, between root 3 and 0. Well, what is that? Well, it's going to be half times the natural log of 1 plus 3, which is 4, minus 0, because this evaluates to 0 when x is 0. So what's that? It's just going to be half gets transferred. So it's actually going to end up being the natural log of 2. So now we have that u of x is simply 3 over pi ln of 2. The next part is to calculate e of x squared. So e of x squared, again, it's going to be the similar methodology. We say that that's going to end up being 3 over pi multiplied by the integral between 0 and root 3 of x squared over 1 plus x squared dx. Now, by integration by parts, okay, we can calculate this as end up being 3 over pi multiplied by root 3 from previous results and minus root 3. Okay? And now, this means that the variance is going to end up being, well, what is the variance? It's e of x squared, okay, e of x squared minus e of x squared, okay? So what is that? Well, it's 3 over pi times root 3 minus pi over 3 minus, well, 3 over pi ln of 2 squared. Okay? And that's what that is. And the last part is to find the median. We're told that the probability is going to end up being half, so we take the integral between m and 0, okay, of f of x. So that's going to end up being 3 over pi times tan inverse of m, simply, right? So 3 over pi times tan inverse of m, okay, is a half. So what does that mean? That means that tan inverse of m is pi over 6, okay? Which means that m is simply 1 over root 3. And that's it. We've solved an entire probability question from Cambridge Maths.